So again, now it's applying the three trig ratios. This is where we're going to have our set of definitions. SOHCAHTOA gives us our set of definitions. And we're going to decide which one we're going to use. Now, we call a triangle solved when you know everything. You know all three angles and all three sides. So some strategies, some ideas, right? Does it make sense that if you know two of the angles, you can find the other angle because all three angles in a triangle add up to 180? So once you find two, you can easily find the other one, okay? If you know two sides of a right-angled triangle, you can use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And of course, you can always use SOHCAHTOA for anything else. So you can use your trig definitions to find anything else. But usually 1 and 2, since that's math that you did earlier, that's easier math, we would say, because you've already done it. We would want to do those things first if possible. So this question says, solve this triangle. Can we do anything to solve for something using math, the easier math? Perfect. So the hypotenuse, what letter should I use? Little m. And if I did a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where would the m go? It would go on this side with the c squared. So you would have 7 squared plus 11 squared, 49 plus 121 equals m squared. Add these together. 170 equals m squared. How do you get rid of the squared? Square root. So m is going to equal the square root of 170. In math, we would call this answer exact. But if we go to our calculators and actually do the square root of 170, we get 13.038. To the nearest tenth would be 13.0. And that is no longer exact because we've rounded. Yes? If you were going to use this number to do more math, then you'd want to use the exact. If you were just writing your final answer, because it says to the nearest tenth, then you'd write 13.0, because that's what the question asked for. So now we have solved for this. I'm going to write it in, 13.0. Have we solved the triangle completely? No. We need angles. So pick an angle that you'd like to figure out first, and we'll see if it's possible. Okay. I like that, because you could say K, and then I could say okay. K. Okay. If we're solving for K, SOHCAHTOA, can you see that technically we could use sine, cos, or tan? Because you know the hypotenuse, you know the adjacent side, and you know the opposite side. Now, of the SOHCAHTOA, a math teacher would say, of those three, one is a tiny bit better than the others. Okay? So in this, and the tiny bit better is not like it's not always sine, it's not always cos, it's not always tan. In this one, I would say tan is tiny bit better. Does anyone know why? Which numbers would the tan use? The two numbers we were given to start with, right? Even if you used the exact number for m, a math teacher would still say it's better to use the 7 and the 10, because could we have made a mistake? Yes. So we might have got something wrong when we solved for little m, and then if we used the wrong number again, then we're going to get another wrong answer, even though we're doing our work correctly. So tan would be the better one. And if I wrote out the definition for tan, and I'll put a big K here because that's the angle I'm looking at, opposite side is 11, adjacent side is 7. How do you get rid of the tan? Because you want to get the K. Yes, the tan inverse, or the tan minus 1. Tan inverse of 11 over 7. Go to my calculator, go second tan 11 divided by 7, 57.5 degrees. And that is rounded to the nearest tenth. So I can go up to my triangle, and I can write in, and sometimes I do this on my triangle when I'm solving it completely. Whenever I find a solution, I write it on the triangle, because I have to find everything. So now I look, am I done? No. And how did you find 32.5 so quickly? Yeah, it has to add up to 180. So then we can say that angle N equals 32.5 degrees, because everything has to add up to 180. This is solving a triangle completely. It's not that bad. You're probably going to need to use SOHCAHTOA at least once. And then you can use a squared plus b squared equals c squared to find the other. I can scroll down. There we go. Welcome back. So, you just saw that done in silent mode. I hope you enjoyed it. And we're done. No more video for today. You have 2 homework